Welcome to a series of podcasts discussing series of films.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
In a world inundated with prequels, sequels, spin-offs, and reboots, we ask the question,
Do we need one more? I think we do.
I think we don't.
Matt,
Yeah, Dave?
have you seen a movie with more title than this one?
Ooh. Well, okay. Not to be like
There's a
film
lot
bro.
of letters and numbers and
Well, that's true. It is a little... Because I was going to say, Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb
yeah.
might be a longer title. That being said, Halloween H20 20 years later is kind of a fucking mess of a title.
Kind of like this franchise.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of a
I
mess.
say with love. I say with an endearing love.
I would say horror movies kind of get away with the we're fucking with the timeline.
Yeah, I think before
Even more so than comic book movies.
Yeah,
to
well,
an
it's
extent.
like before we had Fast and Furious and before we had X-Men, we had this doing all of
Yes.
its nonsense. You know, it's like the Dukes of Hazzard just jumping over the rules of filmmaking.
It is, yeah. X-Men is a good parallel kind of.
It's like
example.
he's dead, he's back. It's a doppelganger. What?
The only thing that matters is the movie that happened last, and
Yes.
even then, not all of the time.
And then after
I
40
before
years, they
E.
can just ignore everything.
Exactly. Yeah, so this is our first kind of, we're getting creative with our episode layout for
Yes.
this month. Obviously, like we said last week, and I think we maybe tail ended it at the end of our Back to the Future episode that we talked about. We are looking at the kind of reintroductions of
Yeah.
the series. And so it was, last week was original Halloween.
Yeah.
This week is Halloween H2O,
Yeah, it
20
seems
years
to
later.
be the art of when you run it into the ground, how do you restart?
Yes.
And then how do you proceed to run it into the ground again?
And the ignoring of timelines
Yeah,
past.
which good thing we did Back to the Future so we could explain branching timelines.
That is true. We've really set up the show
Yes.
to get to this point.
Yes, this was all done by
And
design.
Freaky Friday.
And Freaky Friday.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay. First, you mentioned Freaky Friday. That when she wakes up from the nightmare in this movie, didn't it just remind you of Freaky Friday?
yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. And also this movie has Mr. Sandman play at the beginning.
It
Also
does,
a Back to
yeah.
the Future
Yeah.
little I'm sure not a nod from the filmmakers themselves, but within the canon of this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we'll do Zombies Halloween next week.
Yes.
And then we'll do Halloween 2018.
Yeah, we'll do David Gordon Green's
Yes.
2018 reboot.
so-
Soft reboot. So
Do you have a relationship with this movie?
no, this was the first time I watched this one.
Me too.
I was like vaguely aware that it's the first soft reboot.
Yeah.
That was about all I knew about it.
Sure.
Apologies for those who aren't watching the video. I burped, but
That's okay. Hey, that's okay.
I cut it out, but there was just an absence of sound. So,
But yeah, that's kind of my experience with it too, is that I was vaguely, you assume horror movies have a bunch of sequels because that is kind of just the nature of the genre.
mhm.
And I was aware of Halloween. We watched Halloween 2, as we talked about last week.
Yes.
And then those were the only ones that I had seen. And I was aware when 2018's Halloween was coming out that people were like, by the way, this is ignoring
Yeah.
when she previously came back to the franchise.
Yeah.
And it's ignoring the sequel. This one does not ignore Halloween 2.
No, it
but
goes 1, 2, then this one. in
Yes,
this
it
timeline.
ignores 4 through 6.
Yes, and 3 can't be ignored because it exists in its own timeline.
Yeah, 3 is its own thing.
Yeah. So if you haven't gathered or if you're not aware, we are going to probably spoil most of the movies in this franchise. So if you're not interested in that, this is a good time to probably back out because I think
Yes.
to get into this one, I think we have to talk about everything that happens and is being ignored
Yes,
a little
'cause
bit to answer our
in
our question.
4, they say that Lori got married, had a daughter,
Yes.
and then died in a car accident.
The American dream.
Yeah, that's true. In that order.
Yes.
But yeah, so that she was dead,
Yeah.
and then Donald Pleasance's Loomis
Yes.
kind of takes you through.
Yeah,
the
he kind of
series.
is it's like that weird thing where it's like you don't I don't think realize he's like the hero of the franchise until because of all the like
Yes.
messy timeline stuff that happens post this one.
They
but,
make him the center.
But yeah, so so in Halloween 1, you know, Mike Myers returns to
Haddonfield.
to Haddonfield
Illinois.
to I was gonna say exact revenge, but he's not really doing that. He's just picking up where he left off as a kid.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And then in Halloween, so that movie ends with Loomis shooting him and him falling off, and
He disappears.
He disappears, and then Halloween 2 picks up right with him getting pretty much up off the ground and wandering into the night
That's right.
to continue a killing spree, and where we
Halloween 2 takes place immediately after.
yeah,
the
it's the
events of
same
1.
night, it's the same year, and we learned that Laurie Strode is actually adopted
Yes,
and is in fact his baby sister.
yes. That it's the oldest.
Is there any more we need to know from Halloween 2 before we move on from Halloween 2?
Well,
so we can get into H20.
that Michael Myers, that's her older brother, that he potentially presumably died. Loomis kind of tries to sacrifice, or not tries, or I guess he does. He sacrifices
successful in
himself.
sacrificing
He is
himself?
not successful in sacrificing himself. He does live.
Because he survives.
Um,
Don't you hate it when you're...
But Myers, they say his body was never found.
Yes.
Laurie, there isn't a lot of discussion of what happened really in between, other than the fact that when this movie picks up, we find out that Loomis has been being taken care of by a nurse,
Yes.
I believe named Marion.
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 Don't open your eyes, Marion.
Laurie has 3 years after the events of Halloween 2, when she's 20, she has a kid with
Yes.
apparently like one of the worst men on the planet when she describes him in this
I know,
movie.
I was like, interesting. I don't know that...
That he's just like a deadbeat. And they have a kid that is Josh Hartnett.
Yes.
So it's not a daughter in this timeline. She has
No.
a son.
Yeah, but and so...
She fakes her death,
Yes.
changes her identity,
Yes.
and then moves to California.
Yes. Which is
As
a plot
we've all
of...
done.
Yes. That's how we got here.
That is how we got here. He's Matt and I'm Dave, actually.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that on the show. Fuck!
Damn it. Damn it. I was going to do a bit. I was like, I'm Joe. He's Mama.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But anywho.
I'm Big
but,
Coat,
okay,
he's
so-
Little Shades.
Yes.
But yeah, so that is kind of the events that I guess have taken place. Michael Myers has disappeared.
Yeah.
He's presumed dead. There's apparently like a comic book or something
Yeah.
that tries to fill in the gaps and brings up.
Yeah. So what is he supposed to have been doing
I don't know.
in this one? Or
Hibernating, taking a nap, watching the other movies to try to catch up on what's canon and what's not canon.
Basically.
But
no, it does feel like trying to explain like the Spider-Man timelines. And like, okay, so why is it not Tobey Maguire?
yeah. What as we kind of move into the movie pretty quickly, I would say maybe in a nutshell, what are your general thoughts on this movie?
So I won't lie. When this movie started, I thought for the first half, I actually thought it was really good.
Okay.
I was really into it. I really liked all the like things in the setups. I like that Laurie's like struggling to move on. She still has like these like he's gonna come for me kind of thing, and I can't shake it. I like that she's suffocating her kid because she can't get on. I think the choice of her becoming like the head of a school is interesting.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm just like she seems to go to a public school, so it seems like an insane kind of jump for her to end up like running like a private prep high school like
sure.
this.
She's the headmistress or whatever.
Yeah. Which Abby watched this with me when I said headmistress. She was like, "A what?"
It's a weird title, which
I was like, like a headmaster, but not that,
Yeah.
to like, but yeah, so I thought that was kind of an interesting choice. But yeah, basically once Michael returns to Haddonfield, the movie kind of just jumps off the rails and keeps going. Mainly because how does he know where she is?
he
based
found
on
her
those-
file.
Yeah, but so Loomis helped fake her death? Is
Pres-
that what's going on?
I believe is what happened is that he was a part of it, that it was confidential, kind of
Okay.
like her adoption when she was a baby.
Gotcha.
Michael tracks down Loomis's nurse for information on Lori, finds the file. She's moved to
Gotcha.
California and takes a little cross country road trip.
Yes, presumably.
Yeah, a due date style.
With his ability to drive.
Yes, exactly. Which I just found out. Apparently, there's a novelization that explains why he drove, and I think it's really dumb.
Oh, do tell.
Apparently, he watched when he was being taken to Smith's Grove Sanitarium,
Mm-hmm.
that there was like a plexiglass shield. So he like watched. He just like witnessed it happen and learned from there. That's one of those things where I'm like, we don't need to dissect it. He just can drive. It doesn't matter. We shot him like 5 times and he lived, and everyone's
like,
okay with that.
Logic isn't.
But it's like, how does he know how to make a right turn? Like, you know, that's where the buck stops.
The rules of the road.
But you were saying, so you kind of like the first half, kind of falls off the rails
I think
for
the
you.
setup is pretty good. And is like fun. I think all the characters are interesting, and then it's like that thing of like at a certain point, like Jamie Lee Curtis has like meta knowledge of fighting him, but with them like erasing like 4 movies from the continuity, it's like, how would she really like it's like that funny thing of like, she's doing the kind of thing that only someone who's aware of like 6 movies worth of Michael's like could do
in terms of his behavior.
I guess just that like that he's not dead yet. Like it's like he's not like reincarnated or like brought back by a cult anymore. He is presumably just a really hard to stop guy. So there's like that moment like near the very end where she's like, you know, they think he's dead, and then she's just like, no, and she like steals the body.
I mean,
and drives the car off a cliff. Like, I was just like, that's some insane behavior for something you're not entirely positive could be. Like, I don't know that she has enough evidence at that point to be doing what she's doing.
I don't know.
Even though after like 1 and 2, I'm like, he survives his fall in 1 and in 2, but it's like at a certain point, I feel like the realistic thing would be like, well, he has to be dead, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just that thing of like, it's funny that she doesn't just shoot him in the face there. She has to like drive the car away. So it's just like interesting choices the characters start making in the back half. They're sort of like, I don't know about that.
By interesting, do you mean dumb and silly and bad?
Yeah, we can say that.
Okay. Because that's kind of what I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, it's like that whatever good I thought the movie was doing in the first like quarter is just pretty much all wiped out by the end. And then I'm just sort of like, I literally just started writing down, what the fuck? Huh? Like I stopped taking real notes. I just started writing down question marks.
I have a lot of notes that are similar that are like, why are you doing this? You have a gun. Don't go back into that room.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I think the first Halloween is pretty good in its in its ability to not fall victim to the like dumb rules of horror.
Yeah.
Like everything is pretty everything seems pretty like airtight, I suppose.
Yeah.
This one does feel like there's a lot of like okay, people are acting dumb.
Yeah.
And I would say that there's maybe not some spoilers for next week, but I would say that there's some continuation of that into next week a little bit.
Or like logic? Who cares about that?
Yeah, I think this movie, it's interesting. I like a lot of the ideas that it is playing with, but I do not think it is smart enough to explore a lot of it.
I would agree with that.
You know, I unfortunately, and I'm not trying to knock the filmmakers. I even want to call out, I don't know if you noticed, executive producer, one of the executive producers on this movie is Kevin Williamson.
Yes.
Who is the writer of I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream. He wrote and directed the new Scream that's coming out.
Yeah.
So he's a horror guy, but I do think he's a very, and the Scream movies are like my favorite horror franchise. I love those movies. And I enjoy the first I Know What You Did Last Summer. I haven't seen the other ones.
Yeah. I've never seen those ones. I should.
You don't know what they did last summer?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Presumably have underage sex, I suppose.
No, it's
the movie seems kind of horny, so
it is, but it's not that. It's something else. It's a crime.
Oh.
Yeah. I won't get into it.
There's a man with a hook for a hand.
Yes,
That's
that
all
is
I know.
true. There is a man with a
And
hash singing
Freddie Prinze
slasher.
Jr. almost got decapitated by like a speedboat.
Yeah.
But
So Kevin Williamson is coming. I don't know if this is his first time coming into the Halloween franchise. I believe it is.
I think it is because this one I saw there was a bit that he helped with a lot of the rewrites, but there was a different screenwriter who did the bulk of the writing, and
Gotcha.
he didn't want to share screenwriting credit with Kevin. And they were like, "But we really want this to be from the man who brought you Scream."
Right.
Is the new Halloween. So it was like that was what they were trying to do with that one.
That's kind of one of my big problems with this movie as someone who loves the Scream movies and loves the tone of those movies.
It kind of feels like a Scream movie more than a Halloween movie.
It also is fucking set in California.
Yeah,
like a lot of the Scream
It's the only
movies.
one set in California.
My thing is that I think Scream is able to exist in its awareness of the rules and its meta, that horror movies exist within it. And obviously I know in the first Halloween they watch The Thing from Another World and all this other stuff. But like they literally watch Scream 2 in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think the tone of that movie, I think that that tone does not mesh with the Halloween movies
It
for me.
doesn't really. It's a tone I enjoy, but yeah, it's kind of weird seeing it on a Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's like
because it's like
an ice cream on pizza thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Where you're like, it's not that I dislike this.
Yeah, but I just like these things separately.
I just don't think they belong together.
Yeah.
I can appreciate trying to do something different with a series, but I do think it's not it doesn't have the DNA of being able to comment on previous series, which is what makes Scream so unique.
Yeah, is that it has the ability to be meta built in.
Yeah, and so it kind of feels light in that way that Scream does.
Yeah.
But in doing that, it's not grappling with any of the ideas of like trauma that it wants to do, and it doesn't. It
doesn't really go hard enough on any of the themes it has like set up for itself.
I also think, I think everyone is way too horny in this movie, and when
okay.
The only reason I bring that up is specifically, I think the adults are way too horny in this.
The adults are very horny in a way that's like interesting for Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, because she's so like, oh no, I don't want to talk to boys.
Yeah, it's like
in the original.
I understand it's been 20 years. I'm not anticipating all the adults.
And this one, she's like, Adam Arkin, get over here.
Yes, and I'm not anticipating them all to be like chased,
like Scorpion, like
literally, like. Well, it's also like, LL Cool J's on the phone talking with his wife, I'm assuming.
No, it's his wife.
And he's like reading the pages of this like novel that he's writing.
Yeah, he's written smut.
This woman's breast. Yeah, he's written smut. And like that.
I enjoyed the idea of this guy who's like, they're like, his wife is like, come on, stop being a bum. And he's like, come on, you like, and he's just like, they're talking all day on the phone.
Well,
I think that's kind of cute.
It's that thing with the first Halloween where it's like all the kids are hooking up and having sex because they're kids. Their parents are gone. It's Halloween night.
Yep.
They're all going to go and do the stuff that teenagers, you know what I mean? Like they're all going to drink and smoke or whatever. And I think in this one, like, I think the movie is trying too much to be like aware of everyone's horniness.
A little bit. I was gonna say the kids are more romantic than they are horny. Like the one friend,
a little bit
wants to be horny, but like
candlelight dinners and
shit. But they have like a million candles. So like the kids are like more romantic than horny. Like whereas like Jamie Lee Curtis is like literally like get over here.
and I also think Halloween isn't necessarily.
Which I'm like, sure, you're traumatized. Pop off.
So like that kind of bumps up against me a little bit, and that I'm like, I feel like we're taking the wrong lessons
a little bit.
And I do think like I don't think Halloween is really a franchise about like virginity or what I like. I don't think it's about sexual escapades in the same way that like that people think it is. Like I know last week I talked about like that it was like ultimate innocence versus ultimate evil. Like I mean innocence in the phrase of like goodness and just like I mean, like in that it's like Michael is unthinking and unredeemable and all this other stuff, and Laurie Strode is just an average regular person. Obviously I know they kind of attach them through familial bonds in the sequel, but like I just think I think they're leaning too much into the horniness
a little bit, and
it feels not knocking what anybody's into, but I do think it's weird for all the adults to be like you said, like kind of even like crazier than the
Yeah,
kids.
they're like more. They're. It's like the thing of like instead of like having the kids be the really horny ones, the adults are, and it's like
Yeah.
interesting.
I just think this movie is a little off in its what it is trying to do. I
Yeah.
just don't think it's super successful in it.
No, I don't think it is either.
I also think like, the structure of the first Halloween movie, the kind of like we talked about last week of like not a lot happens, but the idea is that you're constantly unsure of whether or not Michael is there.
Yeah.
That there's that foreboding kind of nature.
Mhm.
And this one has the same thing where like not a lot of deaths really happen until the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't get that same sense of foreboding.
Yeah. Well, it's like they're trying to do it, but it's mostly like just Laurie thinking that he like just
He's
sort of still
there.
seeing him, as opposed to him actually being an active threat.
Which I feel like the movie should have leaned into a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't, again, it's like, it's easy for us to rewrite a movie that's existed for,
Yeah.
20, almost 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I do think it is one of those where it's like she sees him in the mirror and all that stuff where you're like, that's an interesting idea. Let's
Yeah.
explore with this. Let's play with this. And it doesn't really go beyond that other than her just kind of seeing him
Yeah.
and being, paranoid.
Yeah. Just sort of, on edge.
Yeah. Like I think I think
It's a night of all nights.
that honestly a little fair.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if you found out that your brother was like a mass murdering demon,
Yeah.
you'd probably be like, hey, maybe everybody who is in my life just be aware that this day is a
Just
little sensitive for me.
just a tiny bit.
Like when he's like, that happened so long ago. And it's like, yes. And I understand what you're trying to say if like we can't let the past continue to like, stop us from living.
Yeah.
But we should be a little on Halloween specifically.
Yeah.
We should all be a little sensitive
Just
to the
a little bit.
but I do think the Hartnett Curtis scenes are probably the highlights of the movie for me.
Yeah, I would agree. That's like I was pretty locked into their like
He's pretty good in this.
The mother son relationship. Yeah, he's
His
pretty
first
good.
movie.
First movie. What's going on with his hair though?
What do you mean? It's fun. It's a little 90s.
When that little Cool J's a little like a comb your hair. I was like, yes, actually though, comb your hair. What's wrong with it? What'd you do?
I agree.
It just looked like he stuck his head in a lawnmower in this one.
It's very 90s in a lot of ways.
It's like, so help me God, we won't let you be. You won't be able to do a trap if you don't fix your hair.
We should also mention how oddly kind of star-studded the cast is. Obviously, Jamie Lee and LL Cool J.
Yep.
Josh Hartnett.
Yep. We also got Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the first 10 minutes.
And Michelle Williams.
Yeah, Michelle Williams.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. There's a little bit of me that I don't know if you picked up on this, and I might be reaching, that it almost felt a little bit like they were like doing like they were kind of making fun of Jason Voorhees a little bit because of the hockey thing. His name is James, which I know isn't Jason, but like but like.
But isn't there like a kid wearing like the Jason Voorhees mask?
I think that's him.
Yeah, is it him?
I think so.
Oh no, I think it is. Yeah, because he ripped it off. Yeah, and I was like, is that fucking?
Yes.
He's so baby.
He gets killed off in the cold open.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, fun.
Horrible death.
Yes.
Ice skate to the face.
I didn't mind that whole opening.
No, the opening's good. Like I said, I really like probably the first 40 minutes of this movie.
I think the opening is kind of fun. Michael Myers being back. I will say this is such a nitpicky thing, and I'm not like hovering over this as like a crucial sin of this movie. But I do think, just to point out, if you put October 31st on screen, you don't need to then put Halloween right after.
You can pick one.
We're aware.
But they also couldn't decide on the title.
So. If you put December 25th and then you wrote Christmas Day, we'd be like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Everyone is generally aware
do we
of what
call
that
it
date
Halloween?
is.
Do we call it H20? Do we call it Halloween 20 years later? And they went all of the above.
H2O is weird because it's one of those where you're like,
Was it supposed to be H20 or were they marketing as like H2O? Like, how did you watch the trailer at all?
I
Like,
think it's one of those fanforstic things where, like, if you look
did
at
the
it,
fans just start saying H2O because
well,
that's what it says?
that's where I'm saying it's like the fanforstic thing, where it's like these titles, these graphics and posters and all this other stuff need to go through so many different hands and so many different eyes and levels of marketing that, like, when you see the fanforstic logo, you do go, well, you know what that looks like, right? And H2O is a similar thing, that even if it's H20,
Yeah,
because you've capitalized the H,
yeah.
you kind of have to be like, we're all aware that that looks like water.
Mm-hmm.
That people 30 years from now are going to be in a podcast on YouTube saying, "We're next week we're going to take a sip." Like, you know, that, like, you got to assume that that's gonna.
Is the water clean? No.
There's a domino effect, you know, with that. Yeah, it's a bad title.
It's not.
It's kind
not a
of
good
funny.
title. It's funny in retrospect,
But it's funny because it's bad.
It's funny in a meta sense, not because they're being clever.
Yes. But yeah, I think the opening is good. I think, like, I don't know, a lot of the sequences kind of fall a little flat for me.
Well, this movie has.
I don't mind
I've
the
never, ending. Really?
The final with the car, where they have the little.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
not my favorite, but it's
I
not the
don't
worst.
really. That's one of the parts where it really killed the movie for me.
Okay.
Mostly because of the logic of, like, again, it's just the thing of, I don't buy her going to that kind of extreme lengths necessarily based
Of getting
on
in the car and stuff.
like stealing the car. Like, she has a gun. Like, it's just like, if you're gonna pull the car away, I don't know why she didn't just like turn around and start
I agree with
boom, boom,
that.
boom, boom, boom. You know, but it's like
My thing is more
if the bullets are gonna kill him, how is driving a car off a cliff gonna more kill him? You know?
no, fair. I do think that is one of my notes, is that I'm like, if you have the gun,
Yeah.
shoot him in the head.
Yeah, it's like, I
know?
think I like the ideas of what they want to do, but they don't really earn
That's
where they're
where
headed with the movie.
I say
ultimately,
I kind of like the movie, or the ending, is that
yeah,
I enjoy the idea, but I
Yeah.
don't necessarily.
yeah,
enjoy the
it's just like,
execution.
it's like really unearned. Also, Michael, this is the smallest he's ever looked. I think maybe, I don't know.
This thing, and
He
I've
looks like
gone-
he's 5'9" in this one.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong? Yeah, that's what I thought. No, I fair. I do.
No. But just for like Mike Myers, like this like unstoppable wall of meat. It's
Also,
like he
how
just.
I would describe Austin Powers, yes. But no, I do agree.
You're supposed to get the Michael Myers mask. This is Michael Myers.
Good joke. No, I agree with that.
Incredible joke.
I also think, and if you look back at like Halloween's 4, 5, and 6, and then you look at Resurrection that comes after this, man, they like fuck up that mask every chance they get, don't they?
It just gets worse and worse looking with
looks
like every iteration.
Really bad in this movie. He does not
Yeah.
look scary by any stretch of the
Yeah,
imagination.
and so okay, so do you know what the story is of the mask? I meant to like do a
how
deep
they're
dive on this,
fucking
but
it up.
well, like yeah, why does it look so bad? 'Cause I know it's like a CGI mask at one point, but why again?
I don't know.
Okay,
The
I
only
think I
thing
saw something that they basically found the mask from like Halloween 6, I think. And then they grabbed that, but then it like looked really bad, and so they changed it, but then they changed it a third time, like
Yeah.
like
The mask. I looked at some photos in like 4 and 5 and 6.
yeah.
It kind of still holds the texture, the kind of like leathery-ish looking texture.
Mhm.
I know the mask in, I don't know what the physical actual makeup of it is, but in the movie it's like rubber. It still holds that texture, but it's oddly wide. It looks like
Yeah.
way too big. And then in this one it's too small and it's really flat.
Yeah, well, there's like scenes where it looks like someone, like, when like a kid puts like one of those like foam heads and like a hoodie
Sure.
on top of their head, like it looks like
It
a
looks
fake
like
head
that.
on top of a real head.
I think they do a good job in the first movie with how with the eyes, like the eye holes. And I think part of this is just budgetary. They
Yeah.
said they didn't have any lights when they were making the movie. That
Mhm.
like Michael Myers' face, that his eyes a lot of the time are like you cannot see. There's just black. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And in this one, you can just
see,
like
you
fully
see his eyes like every shot, that
which
he's
makes him look kind of like a doofus.
in. Yeah.
I think.
It looks like a scary movie version of Mike Myers more
Oh,
than it looks like Mike Myers.
You're right. It does look like kind of a parody of him. And I
Like,
think
I'm waiting for Charlie Sheen and Anna Faris to hit the corner and be like, "Run!" Like,
yeah, it just seems
they all
like
do like a silly walk away.
they're overthinking it
A little bit, yeah.
constantly. which is weird because it's like every other horror icon I feel like has remained relatively consistent in Michael Myers. And this is
Yeah.
not a diss to him. I think as a figure, and I think the ideas of the character are really like interesting and terrifying.
Yeah.
But it does seem like they just don't understand how to make the mask work.
No.
There, I would say the subsequent movies after Resurrection definitely do a better job.
I would agree with that.
But I do think they're almost making them look scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Well,
want
they
them
need to
look
overcompensate for years of not looking good.
exactly. Whereas in one, the mask in and of itself is not necessarily. It's not like
It's not the
there's
whole
not
problem.
like Satan circles drawn on the sides of it, or
Yeah.
they're not trying to make it scary.
He just have
It's
flames on his cuffs.
yeah, exactly. Like it just is what it is, and the character itself is scary.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, they over and underthink it, and then in the next
Yeah,
ones, I think they overthink it.
Yeah, well, it's like I think they're trying to like find. It's like they're trying to like beef up part of the humanity so that you can have that moment where they're like when he's pinned to the tree. Because they're like, okay, so it's a brother sister. This is a family movie. Like this is really where they Fast and Furious everything. I think.
Could you imagine Michael Myers in the fucking car?
Yeah, he's like
just
family, and then he,
driving at 15 miles an hour next to Dominic Toretto. Like,
it's him. It's Jamie Lee Curtis, and she looks out, and then it's Mike Myers. Like
that's who taught him how to drive. God, just Michael
Vin
Myers
Diesel.
hitting the nos. But
Illinois nos.
true. But it's different. It's made
I got
of
the
corn.
equivalent of a groan. I think.
No, I think, yeah, I think generally, I think the actors I think are doing what they can do.
Yeah.
Michelle Williams, unfortunately, does not have anything to
No,
do in this
they-
movie. Josh Hartnett kind of doesn't really have a lot to do in this movie.
He's
other
got a
than-
good setup, but they don't end up doing anything with him
It's
that is
it's-
meaningful. So,
Yes. LL Cool
like, even with
J-
his like stature, I'm like, man, you could have really played with him like becoming new Michael, like at the end of this one or something. You know?
Well, it's interesting because for the other timeline, flirts with Laurie's daughter
Yeah.
having similar connections to Michael and instincts and
It's a
stuff.
crazy
like that.
franchise. She's got 2 non-existent children.
Yes, and then I think she has other kids in the new
Yeah,
timeline.
because she's got a in the new timeline, she's got a daughter and a granddaughter.
Right.
Or I think he's got a couple grandkids in that one.
I
but,
guess we'll find out.
We'll find out in a couple weeks. We're not there yet.
But I also I want to say LL Cool J. I listen. I actually don't mind him in this movie.
He's pretty fun.
He's pretty fun, but I do think that the fake out death with him
Wild.
sucks.
It's
And-
terrible.
And I think when he comes back, it sucks even worse.
No, it's almost like they were like, did you guys really shoot the only black guy in the movie like by accident? And they were like, what? All right, we'll bring him back. Like, I don't know.
It feels like the movie is because obviously there is unfortunately this trope that black people tend to die first in
Yeah.
horror movies. It's just like this constant trope that like
Yep.
is ridiculous.
Yep.
And then in this, it feels like the movie is almost aware of that in the gate sequence, that it's like flirting with the idea of like, we're not killing LL Cool J
Yeah.
the second Michael enters the school, and then they just shoot him,
Yeah.
and then he's just dead, and then he comes back
And he's like,
literally from off camera, just in the shot, just kind of like pops in and pops out.
yeah, he's like, the bullet grazed me.
And one is one of the most obvious ADR lines of him being like, "I just barely survived. The bullet grazed me." And
Yeah.
it's like, stop. Don't.
He's like, also, I sold the rights to my book. We're rich, baby.
There needs to be a complete reworking of this.
I know this movie
entire
feels like they were
character.
trying to like they reshot the crap out of it. Like this one feels like it was like a Joss Whedon came in kind of situation. Like
How do you all that? How do you feel about Adam Arkin and that whole?
I think he's
relationship?
enjoyable. I don't. He's kind of it's like a interesting person for a love interest for Jamie Lee Curtis, because like this is like the 90s. She's doing movies with like Schwarzenegger and stuff like that. So it's like funny that it's like Adam Arkin,
It's a guy.
just a guy.
Yeah.
But he's like charming and enjoyable to watch. But it is a good thing of like they are really horny, and it's like, well, this is like watching my parents make out. I think I might just go do something else.
I think he's pretty good in it. Again, he also like doesn't really.
He
get
just
a lot
doesn't have anything to do. He's there to be several fake outs for Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes,
Which I will say, this movie has more like fake outs than any other horror movie I've ever seen.
it does,
There's
and they're
so many like, just kidding. Now it's just Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
they're
It's
all
just Adam
really
Arkin.
obvious, and they're all not particularly effective.
No, none of them are effective. None of them are particularly
Um,
interesting.
yeah, I don't mind their chemistry. I think the scene where she's unveiling the truth. There is that weird moment, and this is kind of talk about the like
She does
this.
just kind of lay it all out.
She does, and I think it's the scene before when they're in the cafe or whatever, and she's down in the Chardonnay.
Yeah.
That like she specifically says she has like hidden backstory. She uses the word backstory, and I don't know how I feel about
Yeah.
having a character. Again, this is
I
maybe
believe the term
something.
you're looking for is baggage.
Well, it's like trauma or history. Like I think, and this may seem like a small nitpick to someone, but this is where I'm kind of pointing this out as an example that is indicative of the whole tone of the movie. Is the Scream kind of infiltration of this,
Yeah.
of like using a screenwriting or a story term like backstory, that the main
Yeah.
character is dropping that if I was telling you about some crazy shit that had happened in my life, that I wouldn't be like, yeah, I have some backstory that I haven't laid out for you. You'd be like, what the fuck are you talking? What are you talking about?
You're right. We'd be like, I've got some hidden lore.
Yeah, exactly. Should be like my younger brother Mike or my older brother Michael does a lot of aura farming, but not in the way you'd like.
Lots of horror farming. There's lots of moments where he stands in a window just to like back out, just to see
Yeah.
if he can get away with it.
That motherfucker really does stand around just to be like, can they see me?
And he's like,
Can they see me?
He's like, haha, LL Cool J. Can you see me? Nope.
Nope.
You can't see me.
They do that
You
too many
can't see me.
times. That scene is the gate scene. I know we touched
Yeah.
on it for a second. Is far too long.
It's incredibly long.
It's way too long, and it's not even a long scene, but it's way longer than it needs to
It's
be.
way longer than it needs to be. And this movie's like under 90 minutes, which is
Yes.
like they're padding this movie to like get to the finish line.
I agree. I actually literally had the same thought, and I think I have it in my notes. I was like, how do you pad out a movie that is an hour and a half? Like,
Exactly.
how do you add fat
Yeah.
to a movie that is like as tight as features are, like really can be?
Yeah, it's like funny because it's like in the original movie, what's like so like brilliant about the movie is that the audience has knowledge that the characters don't. But then in this movie, you know, we can see where he is and they don't know they're in danger yet. So there's a
Yes.
lot of like time spent waiting for the thing. And yeah, there's some fake outs, but they're a lot subtler. And in this one, it's just like now's the time to strike. And then he doesn't,
Yes.
you know, like he's like got a perfect shot at a kill and he just doesn't take it.
Well, again, it's that thing. It's like Michael goes to Haddonfield so quickly in the first movie that like you're constantly wondering where he is.
Yeah, and this
Michael
one
does not show
he's
up
still
for a
road
while.
tripping for most of the movie.
Yeah, he's like listening to Lakeshore Drive, like fucking on his way to some prep school in California.
There's a deleted scene. He's listening to podcasts.
Yeah,
He's listening
exactly.
to Weed Need More and More.
Yeah, he's fucking listening to a Big Picture or whatever.
He's trying on Loomis's coat, trying to get in the club.
Yeah.
We're like,
but
sorry, your ID's no good.
that is where I think a lot of
This license clearly a fake.
like the tension of this movie just does not exist.
No.
And then he gets there, and then the movie's basically already done. So you're not. It doesn't feel like a like, for lack of a better word, like a release of the tension. Is like Michael has officially kind of, you know, shown himself to the people that he's going after. I don't mind. Like I think the dumbwaiter stuff is pretty effective.
Yeah.
You know,
How funny would it have been if like he had sent the roses and not Josh Hartnett?
I was kind of
I was watching with
anticipating.
Abby and we were joking about that because we saw it. We were like, oh, it's Josh Hartnett. He's being cute. And then we were like, well, what if it's Michael? And we were like, well, that would be an elaborate.
Josh Hartnett is a cutie. He
Yes,
has been and always will be quite a cutie.
Yep. This,
But
Pearl Harbor.
Trap, he's crazy in that movie, but
he's given Mike Myers energy in that one.
dude, he's so fucking good in Trap.
He's just like a big dude running around with a knife.
That moment where he checks the apron and finds the wallet and the look in his face. That is fucking. Hey, Academy.
We're putting the next season together. Maybe we'll do an episode.
I love Trap. That movie rules. Yeah, I think the dumbwaiter stuff is pretty good. Like, you know, I feel like we touch on the moment, but we don't really get it. I wish we got more of a moment of John, right? Josh Hartnett's character.
Yeah.
Realizing that Michael is back. I feel like we don't explore that enough.
We don't really
because when he comes
that.
back to movies, has 25 minutes until it's over.
Yeah, basically. Well, it's like, this is like a movie that like it wants to do themes of trauma and alcoholism and like family, but it's only saying it out loud. It's not really exploring any of those themes.
No, and it's barely even saying it out loud. Like,
Yeah.
there's like little references to it, and the conversation in the beginning in the kitchen,
Yeah.
is where you're like, yeah, like, okay, we're setting up
Yeah.
this whole thing, but John kind of disappears.
Yeah.
You know, for the confrontation between Laurie and Michael, which I understand why you do that.
Yeah.
But
like other movies would have it where it's like something he's like, I can't leave her, and he goes back or something and get like you know, like you would think there would be like a moment where suddenly she gets like overpowered by Michael, but then the kid comes in clutch with a save or something. But no,
you have other family. I'm your
yeah,
family
you know, it's like
too,
we're all gonna,
whatever.
you know, it's a good thing we were all here and we didn't go to Yosemite.
Yes, it
but
is. It is funny that, and I think it's smart of the movie that it is like Laurie keeps being like, you're not going to Yosemite. What might happen? What might happen? If he had just gone to Yosemite,
arguably a lot safer.
he would have been safer. But yeah,
also, you would think that Laurie would be like, I should be in a very crowded space for the holiday. I shouldn't be here in an empty building.
Yeah, it does feel like you would want to.
Although maybe she was watching Friday the 13th and she was like, middle of nowhere campgrounds? F that. Like,
yeah, fair. Well, I mean, considering they're watching Scream 2.
Yeah.
Also, them
Apparently-
watching Scream 2 does, not to be this guy, but it does insinuate the existence of Scream, in which in Scream they do watch Halloween. So presumably
Yes.
they have like Scream with the Stab
presumably
franchise.
she sold the rights.
Yeah, presumably there's a
The movie
series
rights
of
for
films
Loomis's book got sold.
called All Hallows Eve that like
Yeah.
you know they exist.
But
yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
it opens up
and
a
it
whole
doesn't-
can of worms.
It's not a problem. It's
apparently
just
when
something
they
that is funny.
yeah, no, I agree. When they shot that, apparently the actual movie that was on, because they did a special effect to like put in Scream 2 later.
Sure.
But they had I Married an Axe Murderer, which stars
Mike Myers.
and like that's a
funny.
really funny joke.
That would be funny. You could put on John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
I think
That would have been
be
fun,
kind of
especially
fun.
20 years later. Although they were beefing pretty hard with John Carpenter during the making of this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because they were basically like, let's get Jamie Lee Curtis back, let's get John Carpenter back. And
Gotcha. Back to formula. if you
back
will.
to formula, because he did one. He wanted to do the anthology thing, but they were like, you got to do Mike Myers. So he came back and took the paycheck for 2, but the way the deal worked out, he didn't get a lot on the back end for that.
Okay.
So then he had full control for 3, went the anthology route. That movie bombed. He made less, lost a lot of money on that one. And then he sold the rights, and then that company did like 4, 5, and 6. And then they were like, let's do it. But he wanted $10 million to come back. And it was largely to try and make up for the money he lost
Sure.
on all the movies he didn't like get cut into. And they were like, we're not doing that. And so that
Right.
was like where it ended. And so he's been trying to like get the money he's been due for this franchise pretty much the whole
For
40 years
forever.
it's existed.
Considering he can basically. you
Yeah,
know,
and he keeps getting shout outs, but he's not getting paid very well every time they make one of these, which I think you and I were joking that he got paid really well, but apparently he doesn't.
that sucks. That reminds me of it being like, hey, we want you to come back, and he's like, great, pay me what I'm worth.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we won't do that. Like,
Yeah, we just thought we could get you for nothing.
it's that story of like where like Steven Spielberg apparently was like, I want to make a Call of Duty movie, and they were like, yes, we'd love for you to make Call of Duty, and he was like, great, so I get Final Cut, and they were like,
Yeah.
no, Steven Spielberg, maybe the greatest living American filmmaker in that conversation. You came to us wanting to do our video game movie, and we're denying you.
Yeah.
Smart.
They were like,
Good move.
one thing, you have to call it Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly.
I started the studio last night.
Good. How do you like it?
I'm very into it. Abby's very into it,
How
but
many episodes?
we're halfway through episode 1, but
Right,
Abby
cool.
fell asleep, so I had to stop it because
Okay,
she
okay,
wanted to
fair.
watch it now. So we're making our way through it. But
I'm glad you're
yeah,
you're
we
getting
we
through
caught
it.
up on we watched both the Halloween movies last night. We
Nice.
caught up on Survivor, and then we caught up on Platonic.
Survivor fun.
Survivor is very fun.
I am becoming a huge reality TV person, as everyone is aware. I talked about Love
Hey,
Island on this show.
Third episode drops tonight, so it's early. So I say get
Interesting.
in on it, and we can discuss it.
I'll see what I can do.
Abby's dad is a
Um,
super Survivor fan, and so we were like, let's watch it. So we have stuff to talk about.
Hell yeah.
And we're enjoying it. It's very fun.
Do you know who else is a survivor? Laurie Strode. For now, unfortunately. But
a good segue back in.
thank you. Thank
Slam
you.
dunk.
But yeah, so like they go through, they have this confrontation
Yeah.
with Michael. I like the idea of her being like, I'm going to fucking kill him once
Yeah,
and for
it
all.
ends here.
When she grabs the axe and the score kicked in, I
Yeah,
was like,
objectively,
this is a good moment
I was like, this is really badass, but this is also really dumb.
for her to go back.
For her to go back. Yeah, it's like I get the idea of like I can trap him in the school till the police arrive and we can like take him down or something like that. But I feel like he's already doing such crazy shit all the time that you're like, that just seems ill-advised on her part.
I think the movie gets muddy in the point that it's making, because I felt it as like, that it's like, I've changed my name, I faked
Yep.
my death, I've moved across the country,
And you still found me.
You still found me.
Yeah.
The buck stops here. I'm ending this now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a strong moment. And
Yeah.
I think the movie just does not have the structure or time
No, it doesn't
to
really
hit that moment.
It's also that thing of like they want to have this like brother sister moment, but they've literally only met for like presumably they've only physically been near each other for about an hour their entire lives.
Yeah.
Post him killing the first sister. But like it's like they have no relationship other than he tries to kill her
No, again, and that's
once every 20 years.
there's an interesting idea of like, oh, like, he is my family, he is my brother, all this other stuff, like, but again,
It's like she doesn't
It
actually
just
have any
doesn't-
history. It's not like she grew up with him. I think canonically she met him once in the asylum
yes.
they
I
visited,
believe in
and she
Halloween
like
2,
so
they
there's a
say that.
flashback when they did that big reveal, but yeah, it's not like she grew up Laurie Myers. It's not like she remembered anything. It's just
It's
that's a stranger who tries to kill her.
much like Michael Myers' hand, they're reaching a little bit.
A little
Thing.
bit. It's a metaphor for the franchise.
Interesting.
It's him and then it's like Logic,
I mean, I will say the movie wraps up. Oh no! Fuck! Shit!
He's like over there doing is like planning it.
They're doing the fucking
He's doing an Eminem impression.
But
I can't do a Logic impression, so
That's
I have to
okay.
do an impression of him doing an impression.
I will say, this movie, pretty definitive ending.
Yeah,
Which
may or may not affect my score.
the ending.
Yeah,
It certainly affects mine, especially because we're not going to cover it on this episode, so we can maybe talk about what they do in the subsequent one.
Yes, yeah,
Which I don't think Dish is aware of. Which we can,
this is probably a good time. I think
to talk about it.
enough. I mean,
It's not a lot of plot.
yeah, there's
Let's
not
be
a lot of
honest.
plot. We've
It's-
kind of hit all the beats kind of out of order, but she moved across. She tried to get away. He comes back. That's kind of the movie.
So she gets in the truck, drives. He wakes up in the body bag. Car crashes. He gets stuck between
A tree and a truck.
a tree
When
and a
you're
hard
between,
place.
yeah, a tree and a truck in a hard place.
Exactly. And they have this moment, where like she comes up, she calls out his name. He looks up. He brings his hand up.
Yeah,
And she reaches out for a brief moment and then makes what is probably the smarter decision
I know.
and swings the axe and chops his head
just
off.
decapitates him. Yeah,
Clean cut.
yeah,
Score kicks in.
yep,
Movie ends. Michael Myers is dead.
yep.
Laurie Strode has finally
Is a
defeated.
badass,
Yes. So the next movie is called Halloween Resurrection.
Yes.
Now, that title might, I'm just going to speak directly to Dish right now. That title might infer some kind of magic or mysticism.
Maybe a
right?
cult.
The cult,
Maybe
which
a
is
cult,
in,
like is that 5?
yeah, 5 and 6, I
The
think.
Return
they
of
go with
Mike
the cult.
Myers, or maybe 4. I don't know.
3, I think, might have some supernatural.
Well, 3 is
Yes.
Season of the Witch, but in that one, Halloween is a movie on TV. In that one, so like that one takes place outside of the original universe.
Yes,
yeah,
in a completely different
no.
continuity.
And it's spooky things happen on Halloween. It involves witches, but also demon leprechauns? ? So it's also kind of a St. Patrick's Day movie.
Into this.
But
so
we don't. That's for a different episode.
So you would assume that some kind of magic happens in the resurrection. Not the case. The movie begins with Lori having put herself in for lack of a better term right now, an insane asylum. She has put herself in there. She has faked basically being like catatonic. She has prepped a trap for Michael Myers because it turns out that Michael Myers swapped his outfit with an EMT, forced them into the body bag. And so Lori did not kill Michael Myers. She killed some random ENT that Michael Myers crushed their larynx so he couldn't speak. So it's
So
not.
that moment with him reaching out is just a random
It's
paramedic.
just a guy being like, please stop, basically. She kills that guy and now has lived with the trauma of killing an innocent man, not realizing it's Michael. When Michael comes back to the asylum, Lori has sprung this trap for him.
Mm-hmm.
The trap succeeds. I've watched this clip.
Yeah. Is like Scooby-Doo in nature?
He is hanging upside down by
Does
a
someone
rope
like slip on a banana peel and go whoop, whoop, whoop,
Over-
whoop, whoop, through some feathers?
over the thing in the insane asylum. She has the knife ready to kill him, but out of the trauma of wondering whether or not she will kill another random stranger that Michael has swapped bodies with, she reaches out to pull the mask off. Michael grabs her, pulls her over the building, takes the knife, stabs her in the back, and as she dies, she kisses the mask on the lips and says, "I'll see you in hell," falls off the building, and Laurie Strode dies. In the first 5 minutes of Resurrection, she's killed.
Wow.
And then Resurrection is about a group of...
Man, the audacity
Like-
to put her on the cover.
So apparently the only
I
reason...
saw that clip. I thought that was at the end of the movie. I didn't realize that was the
Very
first 5
beginning.
minutes.
The only reason that happens is so she signs on. She wants to do H20. She wants to take a sip. And I'm going to keep running that joke into the ground.
It's okay. That's in theme with this franchise.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just trying to be consistent.
Yeah.
She signs the contract, and basically the only way to make H2O happen is to offer up a potential sequel that they don't want to do. Obviously, they kill Michael Myers, right? So they're pretty like, we're doing a definitive ending. So they have her on lock for the sequel. She's like, I don't want to do this. I think this is a bad idea. And the only way they get her back is to kill her in the first 5 minutes. She only did it as a contract obligation. She hates that movie. That movie is about a group of TV producers setting up a reality TV style competition of who can stay in the Michael Myers haunted house for long. Michael Myers comes back to his house and kills all the people that's there. So it's like
Wow.
a semi-reality kind of...
It's like they're trying to get sort of meta with it.
Yes. And where LL Cool J is in this movie, Busta Rhymes is one of the leads of Resurrection.
Wild.
But so that is what happens after this. Obviously, now this canon has been completely wiped out
Yeah.
with the David Gordon Green movies. But that is how they, we bring this up to talk about narrative runway.
Yeah.
Big thing on the podcast. This movie ends pretty definitively.
It has a very definitive ending.
Not just in its physical plot of Michael being killed,
Yeah.
but the idea that she has also overcome this thing that has
Yeah.
been with her the last.
Yeah, she's
almost 2
confronted the
decades.
past quite literally and won.
And they now have to find a way to retcon his death in
Yeah.
a way that is both smart and dumb, I think. How do
Yeah.
you feel about that undoing?
Well, it's just it's like they really want to have their cake and eat it too. They've already they really are just playing it fast and loose at this point.
Yeah.
It's kind of a confounding ending because one, I mean, the whole thing is you can't kill the boogeyman, and then just definitively are like he's dead.
Turns out you can. But I guess you can't.
Just kidding, we didn't do it. Like it's so I feel like you can feel fans of this franchise rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
Like you just feel that stain in the universe.
It's also kind of what I
But-
was talking about last week with the me not giving a point to narrative runway on the first Halloween, despite me thinking that movie's a masterpiece. Is that the idea of him being anywhere but not not offering up an actual story of where he goes
Yeah.
is what's scary about it. Once you start to do this, you have to start to like make him a, for lack of a better word, and I'd say this as a compliment. I say this as a kind of a criticism. You have to make him a character,
Yeah.
which Michael Myers is not intended to be a character. He's meant
No,
to
he's
be
like a force
fate.
of, yeah, like he's the shape of evil, you know?
Yes, which they name drop fate
Yeah.
in there. I also just realized, not to bring this up or not to go back a little bit because we'll move on after this. I do think we do need to acknowledge Janet Leigh is in this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Jamie Lee Curtis's mom and star of Psycho.
Star of Psycho.
Um,
That
she dies in the shower. She's that famous scene.
Yes.
If you are cinematically inclined,
she comes back to play Norma as the character.
Norma,
one of the people at the
Norma
school.
Bates.
Yes, exactly. There's also a reference to someone being stuck out in a hotel, the psychopath in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. Yep.
Actually, in reference to John, they say if you keep this up,
Yeah.
you'll be a psycho in the middle of the hotel.
Yeah, a lot of like named references. Presumably the kid's John because John Carpenter, and then
Presumably.
Norman Bates. But like, yeah, I don't know.
That's one of those things where I'm like, this is kind of cute, but also I'm like, it feels a little
It's
unnecessary.
a little distracting.
To what
a little
end?
bit. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Um,
I don't think I think it's funny. I think she's good in it. You know what I mean? But she has like 3 scenes.
Janet Leigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like I think it's funny. It also is a kind of a fun nod to like part of the reason Jamie Lee Curtis got cast is because she's the daughter of
Yes.
uh,
Of Janet Leigh.
Janet Leigh. I keep wanting to call her Jennifer Lee.
Oh,
But Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Jason.
Yeah.
but you were saying?
But yeah, it's like there's a lot of like cute nods to stuff, but it's like yeah, this one gets really meta in a way that is completely unearned.
It's meta in a way where it, again, like the Scream thing.
Yeah, it's meta the way the Scream
it's-
movies are, but it's
but
not built into to be
that's
doing
the
that.
thing is that I don't think it is, because Scream is meta for the sake of like it is baked into the story and the conversation the movie wants
yeah,
to
it's
have.
part of its deal.
This is just the kind of like point. Hey, don't you notice this?
yeah, and it's like, oh, it's
Which
20
is-
years later. It's the 20th anniversary. We're gonna like
It's ultimately
love letter this a little bit.
I think those references, and I don't mean to sound too harsh, but I do think we live in an era of a lot of pointing, hey, did you notice this Easter egg? Yeah. Ultimately, those things are cute, but vapid. I think they are ultimately hollow.
Vapid, that's a good word.
Yeah, I don't give a. I'm fucking no.
He's over here with the Scrabble board.
I'm pulling out. Listen, I have
little bit of Scrobble.
I have the word of the day calendar. No, but I do think they're ultimately hollow and vapid. They don't hold anything.
Mhm.
They are at best a slight chuckle, at worst completely distracting.
Yeah.
And I think if you're doing that, like you got to be careful with how you play with it. It's a very fine line.
Yep.
I don't think this is like, I don't think it takes me out of the movie. I don't think it's atrocious, but it is it sits in the middle where I'm like, okay,
Yep.
that's cool. Like, that's nice you're doing that. It's cool that they get to be on screen together.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't offer anything. She doesn't get killed.
No.
Like, like nothing really becomes of it. So it kind of becomes nothing.
Yeah.
It's like a rice cake. It's like,
We're just choking on dust.
it's just you're eating something, but you're not actually really having
Yeah,
it.
there's not a lot of nutritional value on this one.
But do we want to kind of move into our?
I think now's a good time to get into the score.
You want to go first?
Yes, I gave this a 1.5 out of 3.
Okay.
I'm giving it basically 1 just because, like 1.5, because I really enjoyed the setup.
Sure.
And I like the idea of Josh Hartnett in these movies, I think. But yeah, like you said, there's not a lot of runway to do another one because him getting decapitated is pretty definitive, especially since they've removed all the supernatural elements. But I did not enjoy this movie as much as I wanted to.
Where do you allocate those points in each category?
It's like 1 point for some enjoyability, and then like half a point just because I want to see like another one in this alt timeline, I think, but like only like a half point for that. And then yeah, that's it for me, I think.
Okay. That's fair. Mine is, so I gave this a 1 out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I give it half a point for quality of film.
Yeah.
I think it flirts with ideas that it does not explore. And I think its structuring is recycled.
It's very recycled, yeah.
And not effective. I think it takes the wrong lesson.
Yeah.
I think in terms of its enjoyability, I give it another half a point. I think it is relatively enjoyable. I think a lot of that comes down to the cast, and I think the
Hmm.
movie is brief enough and still it's not necessarily dull. Like
No,
it doesn't feel like a drag.
it's an interesting watch, but mostly because of the meta context.
And I think
Not
there's a fun opening to it.
yeah,
But I think this is one of those where I'm like, if I want to watch a movie that feels like Halloween, I'm just gonna watch Halloween.
exactly.
And you're not doing enough to really, I think, hammer home any of the ideas that you're putting forth. It's fun, but not it to a medium kind of end.
Yeah.
I do not give it a point for narrative runway. I
Nope.
think it explores the themes that it wants to explore. We can, regardless of how successful it explores those themes, puts a pretty hard end on it. In terms of Michael Myers, it puts a pretty hard end on it. I think at this point, what they do in Resurrection is like a very transparent. We need to come up with an idea
It's
for
a
a sequel.
Hail Mary for a sequel.
I also think with the characters, I think to put them in any other situation that isn't Michael Myers.
Yep.
Like if you're going to do a 6, the anthology thing makes sense of like, let's just have this be like Fargo or whatever, like the show.
Anthology
And,
style.
I don't think you can take these characters and put them in a new thing because of the familial aspect, they're so tied to Michael Myers.
Yep.
For it to just be a random serial killer doesn't offer anything.
No.
And it certainly offers less than what the familial thing of Michael Myers does. And we don't even really explore that a ton in this one.
Nope.
So I just don't see a lot of room. So this gets a 1 for me. I don't despise this movie. I would watch it again.
I had fun with it, but it's not very good.
But it's not like it's like I would watch it in the way that I'd watch like I don't know. Like and I like this movie I'm about to name better than this current one. I think it's like how I would watch like Thor 1 again. Where I'm like, yeah, if it's on, I'll watch it. If people want to watch it, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go out.
I'm not
gonna
way.
seek it out.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. It's a bit of room temperature water. This
Room
movie.
temperature, not a very good sip.
Yes, not a sip.
It's a water bottle that's been like sitting in the sun.
Yeah,
and or like in a car, and you're like,
I'm drinking it because I'm thirsty.
I'm drinking.
That's exactly how
Yeah,
it is.
I feel that. So we want to get into the final score.
Yes, the final score will obviously add a Dish's score into this. Let's see what we got. Dave's doing our wonderful. Okay, great. So I gave it a 1. You gave it a 1.5. Together, that gives us a 2.5. Total. Obviously, we say if it's over 5, it gets a
seal of approval.
We need one more. You get the green light. If it doesn't, tough luck. Better luck next time. The total is a 4.5.
Wow.
So this is a pretty clear.
It's a no.
Close but no cigar.
Close but no cigar.
I don't think this is getting
a
lot of room for this. I mean, Dish, you're giving it. Obviously, I know you're not on mic. Dish is giving it a 2.
1 point for quality.
1 point for quality.
Half points for the other.
Half points for the others.
Half
Fair.
point for enjoyability because I don't like horror movies though.
That's very true. Dish is not a horror guy. And we may explore that on a subsequent episode. It is in deliberation. But we appreciate you watching these movies because we know you're not a fan.
Yeah. But
yeah,
this is already a wild franchise at this point. It's just about to get wilder from here.
Well, now we get to go clean reboot next.
Clean reboot next week.
New director. This is
the man who gave us Dragula.
That's true. The Munsters.
The Munsters.
The movie. Did you watch that?
I haven't.
Yeah, me neither.
From the mind of the man who brought us House of a Thousand Corpses, Mr. Rob Zombie.
Listen, it's one of those when they got Mark Webb to do the Amazing Spider-Man, you were like, Webb, Spider.
It's in the name.
I see the correlation. You get a guy named Rob Zombie to do a horror movie. That makes sense.
You can expect good things.
So yeah,
Ideally.
that'll be an interesting conversation. That movie, I won't go too much into it. We'll save it for next week. But I think that movie has not the same specific problem, but I think it has a similar issue of wanting to offer up ideas that it seems unable to explore.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
We'll get into it next week. That's
We
a
will
little
be getting into
tease.
next week. Yeah. Do you have anything in H2O we didn't mention that you want to shout out real quick?
One thing, a big fan of A Room Full of Globes.
Room full of globes. Where's the room full of globes?
It's when Josh Hartnett and Michelle Williams are like walking around. They open up a door into the classroom, and there's just a room full of like 25 globes. Just like, oh yeah, I think it is in the basement.
Was it the basement? Oh, okay.
Was right before.
Was that the room with the chairs hanging?
Before the other two got killed.
It's right next to the room where it happens.
Yes.
Is
They're
the
looking for them.
Yes, they're trying to find the room where it happens. But they end up in the room where of globes, kind of Chris Columbus not going where they intended to go.
But they found America anyway.
They found something anyway. But
something Roanoke.
yes. But yeah, I was a big fan of that. I thought that was fun.
That was funny.
Just like I wasn't expecting. What about you? You got anything?
I'm trying to think about
Anything
something.
of more substance than what I just offered?
I mean, I get there was we didn't talk about how there's that one lady how Michael steals their car. They break off the road to go pee.
Oh yeah,
And then
not a bad sequence.
Not a bad sequence. We when the little girl showed up, Abby and I both were like, no,
Yeah.
either she's gonna die or she's gonna watch her mom die. It's gonna suck. And then they didn't. And we were like, oh. So we were a little surprised there.
Yeah,
and that
fair.
was kind of funny, but no, I don't really have anything else. It's kind of fun to watch, but more for meta reasons than the actual context of the screenwriting.
Yeah.
I suppose.
It's
But
it's almost good.
yeah, it's kind of close, and it's not bad enough to be like more fun to watch and like crap on. You know, like it's
Yeah.
not fun enough to like you just mostly like what because it's mostly good for the first hour, and then like that back half, it's just like
I walked away like, okay.
yeah.
I was like, all right.
Yeah, it ended, and Abby was like, I want to watch more of these now. And I was like, well, thank God, because I have to watch another one.
Yeah.
So that worked out.
Buckle up. The next one's going to be a lot meaner.
A lot meaner and a lot
meaner.
more vulgar.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
For better or for worse.
And we will talk about that.
We will talk about that
next
week. It's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007.
That's right.
Uh,
You ready?
no.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm excited.
Yes. I will say, I think we're learning a lot about the art of sequels and reboots and everything. And I feel like everything we've talked about this year really is coming to play in the Halloween franchise.
Yeah,
we're
I
seeing
would
a
say
lot
that.
of lot of setup and stuff for this one. I feel like this is the template for how not to and how to
To do it.
how to do it, you know?
Yeah.
It really is like someone like trying to fly a rickety plane off like a cliff, and then it just does the like, oh no, da-da-da-da,
Oh, yeah. Does it come up over the hill?
bun, da-da-dun, dun, dun, dun. And then but this song, like this franchise constantly does like the heroic moment right into the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
Like every time.
And then it's like, don't worry, 10 minutes ago, they actually didn't get in the cockpit. They actually learned
10 minutes
how
ago-
to fly.
So 10
and
minutes
then
ago, they
got in the
realized it
cock-
wasn't going to work, and they drove it off for funsies.
They got in a different plane with Josh Hartnett. And then
Yes.
they had a different ending.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
let's
yeah, so next week, Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Yep.
My first Rob Zombie film.
Ooh.
Yes.
I think it's my first full one, but we'll talk about that next week.
All right, fair
Yeah,
enough.
Full helping a zombie.
Well, hey, we've taken our sip and
Yep.
we're good. We're all
No
right.
more. I would like a different beverage, please.
Let's go get a Diet Dr. Pepper. That's
Diet
much
Dr.
better.
Pepper.
Yeah, all 23 flavors. Thank you for listening to We Need One More.
Be sure to follow us on socials like TikTok and Instagram at WNOM Podcast to stay up to date on upcoming episodes.
And feel free to join our Discord community where you can share your thoughts on the movies we're watching together. That's going to be at WNOM Podcast server with the link in the bio.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the show and to let us know that you need one more.
We'll see you next week. This podcast is produced by Pilot 9 and 9 Ball Creative.